I think it's since we were doing the UK webinar, I make a cup of tea. Cup of tea.
You nutter. Right, question is though, has it got green or blue tea in it? Green or blue milk?
What was that?
I said the question is, does it have either blue or green milk in it?
Neither.
And
it's herbal tea. I don't know if I told you, I became allergic to caffeine about 6 years ago.
That sort of time I come allergic to work.
Yeah, so I can't drink caffeinated tea. I can't drink any caffeinated soda. I can't drink coffee. Nothing. I became allergic to caffeine.
Not good, not good. I must admit, I don't really drink much caffeine, to be honest. I've got enough energy as it is. But you know what? I'm going to let you just take control of this Zoom call now. I'll hit the record button so those that aren't on can watch it afterwards.
Yeah, so by the way, you said you don't drink much caffeine. I used to be part of the all-pro coffee drinking team. I know we got a ton of background noise here, so I'll wait for that to get metered out here.
Raheem Sterling gave City the lead against the forward club with a left-footed volley from close range. They held the lead for over an hour until John Mackett put in Virgil van Dijk's cross. He had almost got a winner in record time.
Got it.
There we go.
Had to go round. But yeah, we got it in the end. Right, okay. For those that don't know Todd, so I know that most of you on here do know who Todd is, but Todd's the master rep of the company. So he's literally the head honcho. Anything that I need before going to David, Todd is my last port. So I have to be thankful because Todd's got behind us a lot in the last week or so behind the scenes. And I know you guys won't be aware of it, but Nicola and I have been working a lot more closely with Todd, hence how we've been able to make the shopping portal move a bit quicker than what it did. So with that said, Todd, I'll hand it over to you. And what Todd's actually going to do is he's going to guide us in the way that he feels is best to run your business. If it's not how you feel, then have a chat with me afterwards, because I know that we've all got different personalities and not one personality fits all. But personally, it doesn't make sense to go against the grain when you've got someone with Todd's caliber in front of us, because he knows what he's doing. So if there's any questions or anything, you can always have a chat with me afterwards privately, okay? So with that said, Todd, I'll leave it over to you.
Well, Bo, I want to do a sound check real quick. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, Bo, and again, as I mentioned, good evening, everybody. And I am excited to be here with you guys. To go back and kind of expound upon what, we were just talking about here a second ago, what Samantha was saying about, the right way to build the business. I want to be the first to tell you there is no right way to build the business. There's a lot of different people in our company taking a lot of different approaches, and all of those approaches are having some success. So you're going to find out that everything works, but nothing works perfectly. And the only secret to our business is don't keep it a secret. And there are more kind of concepts that you have to subscribe to that are more important than the how. I know a lot of people focus on the how, and you're going to find out that it's not so much about the how, but how you do the how that's more important than the how. And so a lot of times people are like, Todd, give me the magic phrase. What is the word? What is the sentence? What is it I need to say to make this thing explode and come alive? And again, it's not always the phrase, but a lot of times it's a lot of other stuff that goes into that, including, for the fact that I was just reading a great article the other day. It was put out by some psychology magazine. And the article basically pointed out that we all have over 12,000 thoughts a day. And most people, the majority of the people out there around the world, of the 12,000 thoughts they have, over 80% of those thoughts are in fact negative. And so, that's something that we all battle, present company included. And I read a ton of books. I listen to audios. I'm constantly, I got little notes that say, 100% positive. I post them up in different places, and still, even though I'm somebody that's very mindful of that, even though I'm somebody that works hard to make sure that you're always positive, always, turning lemons into lemonade, always looking for the good, always wondering, hey, what can I learn from this? How could this be a good thing, not a bad thing? I always try to turn frustration into fascination, even though I work hard at that. Present company included, you still go to the negative. And so that's just something that we all have to fight. Now, that's something that we're all up against. We'll understand that that's going to affect everything. I could use the exact same sentence as somebody else, and if I'm in a negative state of mind, I'm not going to have the effectiveness that they're going to have. And so understand that part of this is a process. It's not just a process. Recruiting is a process, not an event. You got to go out there and talk to a lot of people, but then also part of it is the personal development side of it. Jim Rohn once said, success is something you attract to you based on the person you become. Again, success is something you attract to you based on the person you become. We've all heard about the, bird of a feather flock together, the law of association. As you are, so you attract. And part of what you're looking to do is obviously, kind of do a self-improvement job. And as you kind of improve yourself, you attract better and better people. You begin, if you're negative, you're going to attract negative. As you become more positive, you're going to attract more positive people. And part of that has to be a self-conscious effort. There's just so much negative in the world. If you turn on the news, it's negative, negative, negative. I don't know about the United Kingdom, but here in the United States, if you go to any grocery store, the number one spot in any grocery store is obviously there at the checkout. Because, you're standing in line waiting to check out whatever it is you bought. And so you're kind of standing there, you're waiting for your turn. And sure enough, what do you see? This is the number one spot that everyone who ever enters the grocery store has to exit through. And so this is where they put their, the stuff that makes them the most money. And what do you see up there? You see in America, you see all the tabloids, you see all the, the what I call the trash. It's trash, trash, trash. All negative garbage, and and they put it there because most people are looking for that. Most people are looking for the negative. They're looking for the garbage. And what you got to do is kind of separate yourself away from that and understand that this is an odyssey and a process. So I'm going to give you guys a phrase I gave you just a couple of weeks ago. It goes in conjunction with the hotelsite.com. I'm going to give you the philosophy behind it, and then I'm going to expound upon this a little further. So if you said, Todd, how do I build the business? Well, our Dreamcations. If you've not seen Mr. David Hart's Facebook Lives, he was in Las Vegas, Nevada 3 weeks ago at a 4.5-star resort, the Wyndham. He had a full kitchen, living room, separate bedroom. They just built it a year and a half ago. If you've never been to a Wyndham, they're one of the nicest resorts on the entire planet. You can see the Facebook Live. He took you on a video tour through the room. He was there 7 nights, 8 days, $39. He just got back from Cabo, Mexico. Again, he did a Facebook Live. You can see the 2 balconies right on the ocean, drop dead gorgeous. Again, 7 nights, 8 days, $39. And so obviously, who do you know that wants to go not on one Dreamcation, but 2 Dreamcations every single year? And who wants to go for $5 US per night? So I don't know the pound equivalent, but who wants to go for $5 per night US, or $8 per night US, or we have some of them for $1.25 US. Now, I don't care if you're talking pounds or dollars. When you're talking about going on vacation for $1, it doesn't matter. It's cheap. And so, we have that. And that's something you can certainly lead with. However, we rolled out our hotel site just about, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And the hotel site, which we're not done with, it's a work in progress. Just like our company's a work in progress. We continue to improve. The hotel site is free. Anybody can go there and get an account for FREE free. Cost them nothing, $0 and 0 cents. And therefore, it makes it very easy to invite people to create a free account because you're not asking them to buy anything. You're not asking them to join anything. You're simply saying, hey, I got this cool new website that can save you money when you book travel. And you can go there, you can save money, and guess what? You can share your link with others, and as other people save money, you get to earn free travel, never pay for hotel rooms ever again. That's not a bad little slogan. Because remember, the key or the art of marketing is to get people to say, what is it versus so what? Again, how do I get someone to say, what is it versus so what. And you are looking for the thing that is the most duplicable. It's not just what can I do, but what can I get my people to do? And so anytime you sit down with a prospect, they're always kind of evaluating a lot of things. And it's not just, do I believe in the business? A lot of times, can I see myself doing this business? Do I believe I can do this business? Am I willing to do to my friends what this person's doing to me? And so these are kind of questions people are asking themselves in their mind. And so the easier we make it like, who wouldn't say yes to that? The more likely people are like, yeah, I can do this. And again, it's all about duplication. It's not even about if you can go out and talk to 10 and you're so good that you can get 9. And I go out and talk to 10, I'm so bad I can only get 1. But my method, in fact, duplicates. Yours does not. That means you talk to 10, get 9. You talk to another 10, get 9. Talk to another 10, get 9. But I talk to 1, right? And then, my 1 talks to 10 and they get 1. Now there's 2. They talk to another 10 that becomes 4. And then they talk to another 10 that becomes 8, then 16, 32, 64, 128. I'm, in fact, duplicating. And so it's more about what duplicates. And the hotel site, I just made it so easy for people to invite. And understand that as you guys look at your teams, as you look at your groups, one of the big things that's going to hold people back is, am I afraid? I'm afraid of what people think of me. I'm afraid to contact my contact list. I'm afraid to contact the people on Facebook. I'm afraid to contact the people in my phone because I don't know what to say. They're going to perceive I'm trying to sell them something. They're going to perceive I'm trying to, rope them into one of them things or one of them deals. And they get all this psychological babble that starts to happen in their mind. And again, all we want to do is create a conversation. And so I kind of shared the script with you guys, I think a couple of weeks ago. It's very simple. It's not that cannot be improved upon. I just happen to believe it's a great starting point. It's a great opener. This is the beginning of a conversation. Now, this is not the end all. When you think about, me, Todd, I'm always looking to recruit. I emphasize you want to sell the franchise, not the fries. If you've never seen the movie The Founder, that was the story of how McDonald's got built. It was Ray and Mac McDonald who actually built McDonald's. In fact, the very first McDonald's ever was started about 1 hour from where I sit right this moment in San Bernardino, California. But they only had one store, one. That's all they ever had. And it was a guy named Ray Kroc, a milkshake salesman out of Chicago, where I am from, by the way. In fact, by the way, for those of you, a little trivia here, I happen to share the same birthplace as Ray Kroc and the same birthday as Ray Kroc. So we share the same birthday, the same birthplace. Anyway, but I always tell people, I hope one day that means something. So one day somebody said, well, maybe it means you're going to flip hamburgers when you get older. And I'm like, okay, I'll quit saying that. But anyway, so Ray Kroc, a milkshake salesman out of Chicago, happens to go to San Bernardino, California, sees McDonald's, thinks it's the most brilliant concept, and he wants to know if he can have the franchise rights. Well, Ray and Mac McDonald were so busy selling burgers and fries. Who's got time to sell franchises? Who's got time to go out and look for entrepreneurs? Who's got time to go out and look for partners? Who's got time to recruit? I mean, I'm selling burgers and fries. Well, Ray Kroc didn't go sell burgers and fries. He focused on finding partners. He focused on finding, franchisees. And so when you look at the other 30,000 McDonald's that are around the world, the McDonald brothers that started it have one, and the other 30,000 belong to Ray Kroc. And so again, I am a huge proponent for recruit. And so don't misunderstand this conversation. When I read you the script, our end goal is not to get them as a customer. Don't get me wrong. We want everybody as a customer. The goal is to open a conversation. The goal is to get everyone in your team to, in fact, go through their phone, go through their Instagram, go through their Facebook page, their Snapchat, their LinkedIn, whatever social media platform they are using, and get them to, in fact, begin a dialogue with, hey, would you like to save money on travel? Would you like to earn some free travel? That is a great place to start. And so let's say I was going to send this to Sam. I'm like, hey, Sam, we just launched a new concept in travel. It's free and saves you money every time you book hotel rooms and gives you free hotel stays. It's called incentivized sharing, and it's absolutely free. F-R-E-E, right? Now, I think the mantra for most people in this world, if it's free, it's for me. So go to, in the hotel site or watch the 1-minute video. Hey, let's touch base today or tomorrow. I'm a bigger fan of having them watch the video and just create a conversation, not actually sending them to the site. I would rather just have them watch the 1-minute video and then let's have a conversation. And again, this is the opening bid. And the reason I like it is because, again, it's free. It's our most non-threatening opening offer. Of course, once they've seen that, you can emphasize you can earn free travel. Do you like to travel? They're probably going to ask some questions. Well, is this like a business of yours? Oh, yeah. My wife and I, we started this, and we're bringing our customers like crazy. By the way, they got an unbelievable dream vacation program. We get to go to resorts for, $1.25 a night. Again, this is the opening conversation. And so I'm a big believer in that because it's very duplicable. It's non-threatening. You're not asking anyone to buy anything, join anything. And there's no reason that every single one of you right this moment are not sending that little offer. I got a free site, save you huge money, earn free travel, watch the 1-minute video, let's have a conversation. There's no reason you're not sending out that kind of a bullet point to a minimum of 2 a day. That's the minimum. And don't make your minimum your maximum. And if you're saying, hey, Todd, I want to build this, I want to build it fast, then I would say, hey, why not you doing it 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day? When you think about exposures, that equals miles per hour. If you tell me, hey, Todd, I'm trying to get to the promised land, and let's say the promised land is 100 miles down the road, well, if you're doing 2 a day, you're moving at 2 miles per hour. It's going to take you a while to get to the promised land. But if you are doing 20 a day, you're moving at 20 miles an hour, you're going to get to the promised land a lot faster. So exposures equals miles per hour. How fast do you want to get there? Although I'm sorry, you guys from the UK, is it kilometers per hour over there? That exposures equals kilometers per hour. And so how fast do I want to get there? And so anyway, that's all our business is. Now, I just told you the how. A lot of people are like, Todd, tell me how. What's the secret, right? I just told you the how. But it's not always about the how. It's how you do the how. It's all of that other stuff, that sometimes kind of gets in the way. Whether or not you're hanging out with positive people, negative people, your mentality, your mindset, are you consistent with the 2 a day? Do you give up the first time somebody says no, or somebody in your team quits? And again, there's a lot of other things that go into creating an environment, creating a culture where people realize they have to kind of do. They have to be persistent. They have to be consistent. They have to show up consistently with a positive attitude. And then eventually you do find a breakthrough. Eventually you find a Samantha, you find a Nicola, eventually you find a Jim Warford, you find a Gail Maria Roberts, you find a Danny Seguinal, you find a, Eric. Well, if you guys don't know, Eric over in France just went 3-star ambassador. And so, you just got to go out there and share it. And the biggest question is, what is the simplest, most duplicable way? Now, again, as I started this presentation, everything works, but nothing works perfectly. Some of you may have a different way of doing it. Some people focus on doing Zooms. Some people focus on doing a lot of phone calls. Some people like to be face-to-face, belly button to belly button. Now, some people do like Curtis Cross. They do a lot of travel parties, and those are a great way to go. There's no right or wrong. There's really more just the concepts. And again, the first concept is you have to invite somebody to come look at what we're doing, invite someone to have a conversation. And I think that we now have the easiest, most duplicable way on the planet to invite someone to look at what we're doing. From there, you just want to have them go watch another video and then get on a webinar. You want to get them on a 3-way call with your upline or me or your cross line or downline. You want to get them on by the way, you can do 3-way calls via Messenger. That's something I've learned from Danny Seguinal, where they in France, they do a lot of prospecting on Facebook. And what they will do, let's say that Samantha is my prospect and her and I are talking via Facebook Messenger. Well, then suddenly I will tag in my upline and say, hey, Samantha, say hi to Nicola. Nicola, say hi to Samantha, and then I'm going to zip it and let Nicola now start having a conversation with Samantha. It's a 3-way. It's a 3-way via Messenger. But guess what? Samantha and Nicola don't have to be available at the same time. They can begin to have a dialogue back and forth. We can begin to build the social proof, things of that nature. And so, again, it's really more about concepts. It's learning to peak, pass, plug. What is peak? Peak is where you generate interest. I got a free site, save you money, earn free travel, cost you nothing. That's a peak. I peaked you. Pass, I want you to go watch the 1-minute video. Plug, I want you to meet my upline, say hi to Samantha, say hi to Nicola, say hi to Claudia, say hi to whoever, right? And so it's peak, pass, plug. And then it's just doing it, and realize you have to talk to a lot of people. understand that 70% of the people out there, I don't care what you offer them. You could offer them a way of turning, rocks to gold. And it could be endorsed, by the, Parliament. It could be endorsed by the United States Congress. It could be backed up by the yen, and they would still find a reason not to do it. They would find a reason to be skeptical. So you got to realize that there's a lot of people out there we can't change. There's a lot of people out there we can't make them do what they say they want to do or what they should do. All they can do is keep, going out there and, planting seeds. We have to cultivate, and it takes a while, then we get a harvest. And you just got to kind of marry yourself and fall in love with the process. Now, so with that said, I could go on and on and on, and I'd be happy to, but I do want to back up here for a second, see if there are any particular areas that you want me to address more specifically. I know I can see there's all kinds of questions down here, comments going on. I didn't read them, that's why I'm slowing down.
Well, for Hayley, she's put over to me, and I know she's done it privately, but I'm just going to bring it up, and it's consistency. And I have to admit, I think we all hit that. I think we all lack that sometimes. I'm not going to say that we don't, because I've noticed that we do, because what I've noticed is with the group, all of a sudden we'll power up and then we slow down. We power up, we slow down. And that is something that obviously I feel that does need talking about, is consistency.
Yeah, consistency is the key. When you think about Aesop, I don't know if you guys ever read Aesop's Fable over there in the United Kingdom, but it's the tortoise and the hare. And we all know the story about the tortoise and the hare, where the hare took off real fast and stopped for a long time, took a nap, but the tortoise just kept plugging along consistently every day. And I'm a big fan of what I call be a DMO hero. A DMO hero is daily method of operation hero. And if you want to change your life, you can literally make a list of the things you should be doing every day. And when I say every day, I recognize it on Sunday, and maybe that's a day of family, and you're going to not do your normal list on Sunday. And maybe Sunday's fun day, and I'm going to take my list and rip it up on Sunday and throw it out. But on Monday through Saturday, here is my list of things that I should do. And I'm going to kind of digress here for a moment, because I want to kind of get into some human psychology. Because again, when you think about, most of us know the things we should be doing. A lot of you might be familiar with the expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. A lot of us have heard that expression. It's real popular in the United States. I'm assuming it's been heard over there. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, if you could ask most people, well, did you eat an apple today? No. Did you eat an apple yesterday? No. How about the day before? No. Last week? So it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And so you have to be the person that it's not about ease. People think it's about ease. And there's this popular expression, if it were easy, everybody would do it. And that is 100% NOT not true. It is not about ease. It's about choice. It's not easier to eat a candy bar than an apple. It's not easier to eat a hamburger than a salad. It is 100% about choice. For those of you that are readers of the Bible, there's a scripture from the Old Testament, Deuteronomy, and it says, I set before you life and death. I set before you blessings and curses. I set before you prosperity and disaster. Choose. It's about choice. It's always about choice. And the same is true if we decide to do a lot of things. How many people, floss their teeth every day? We all know we should floss our teeth. If you go to the dentist, floss your teeth. Most people, oh man, I hate flossing. And I know that we probably all floss now and then, but how many of you, you're supposed to floss every day? And how many people do that? And we're supposed to, work out every day. How many people do that? And then we're supposed to eat green salads every day, take vitamins. How many people do that? We're supposed to sleep 8 hours every day. How many people do that? We're supposed to go out and talk to a minimum of 2 people every day. And how many people do that? And so it's not just network marketing. It's a lot of things. They have proven without a shadow of a doubt that if you have clearly defined written goals that you will accomplish. In fact, they did a study. It was the Yale graduating class. Now, when you think about Yale University, I know that's not Oxford, right? But this is Yale, our version of Oxford in the United States. The Yale graduating class. And these are obviously very bright people. They're very, very intelligent. These are people that were actually graduating. They actually followed through and got their degree. And the graduating class, they found out 3% had clearly defined written goals. And the other 97% did not. And the 3% that had clearly defined written goals accomplished more than the other 97% combined. Now, I mean, gang, you can go on and Google clear, defined, written goals. You can Google goal setting. There are countless YouTube videos you can watch for free. There are countless articles where everyone in the world proves that this is something that if you have clearly defined written goals, don't think it, ink it. It's down on paper, baby. And if you do that, your chances of success go through the freaking roof. And guess how many people have actually taken the time to do that? Less than 10%. Less than 10%. Is it so hard to do? No. In fact, it's fun to do. In fact, I happen to have 2 grandkids. I got a 8-year-old Trevor and I got a 5-year-old Nolan. And they have a goal list. Every Christmas, they have a goal list. Papa, here's what we want for Christmas. And they got a whole list of stuff they've written down. They have a date. By Christmas, this is what I want. And guess what? They get half of it. This stuff works, right? Every kid on the planet has a goal list. It's called a Christmas list. And they know what date they want it by, December 25th, right, or December 24th if you do Christmas Eve. And so, again, this is not, I mean, kids do this stuff. But as adults, we quit doing this stuff. Sounds like we got a chipmunk in the background there. Anyway, as adults, we quit doing this stuff. Now, is it so hard to do? No. In fact, it's fun to do. I mean, sit down with your spouse and do a little dreaming. I mean, what kind of a house would we like to live in? What kind of a car would we like to drive? What kind of a physical shape would we like to get in? What kind of books would we like to read? What kind of places would we like to visit? What kind of vacations would we like to take? You know, what kind of financial security we'd like to build? I mean, just do a little dreaming. I mean, you can go on and Google and, you know, I'd like to take a jet airplane. I'd like to lease a jet and fly over here and stay in a break. I mean, just dream a little bit and write it down on paper. That's all it is. And I can get on here and do a Facebook Live all the way across the pond, and I can preach on it for the next hour, and I can tell you right now, Samantha and your team, less than 10% will do it. Is it so hard to do? No. It's not about hard. It's about choice. And you're going to find out that's what network marketing is all about. It's about doing those little tiny things that appear to make no difference at all on the surface, that over time make all the difference in the world. And that's all success and failure is. You know, I mean, if you and I both today, starting today, you know, every day you eat an apple, every day I eat a candy bar. The trick is that we can't tell the difference at the end of the day. We both look the same. We weigh the same. You can't tell. Tomorrow, still can't tell. 3 days later, can't tell. Week later, can't tell. Even a month later, you can't tell. I might have put on a pound or so, but you can't really tell. Not on the outside. And so it's subtle. But over time, you know, these are, you know, we're going 2 different directions. And you got to be able to look down the road and say, where am I going to be 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 36 months from now, 60 months from now, if I keep doing the things that I'm doing. And, you know, when you think about network marketing, talking a minimum of 2 per day every single day. And, you know, by the way, another thing you should do, read 10 pages every day. You know, I mean, have a good book, not the trashy stuff. Don't go to the grocery store and buy the trash, right? I mean, get Think and Grow Rich or The Magic of Thinking Big. By the way, The Slight Edge. I'm actually talking about some slight edge concepts by Jeff Olson here, or The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, or the Bible. I mean, there's countless books you could read that are good things that you could be reading. And if you just do 10 pages a day, well, think about the compact effect of 10 pages a day. 365 days in a year. If you do 10 pages a day, that's 3,650 pages. If the average book's 200 plus pages, you just read 18 books. So in a year, most people read 0 books, and you've read 18 books on how to be positive, be a go-getter, set goals, be ambitious. I mean, you're feeding your mind the good stuff. And again, what you think about comes about. You're beginning to attract different kinds of people, attract different types of, mentality, attract, different types of vibration and positivity. And so, year one, you read 18 books, I read 0. And you just keep doing it day after day, 10 pages, little things, no big deal. Talking to two, flossing your teeth, eating an apple. I'm over here reading no pages, eating candy bars, reading the trashy stuff at the grocery store. And where do you think that's going to end up as we get down the road? I mean, 18 books this year, you're 36 books ahead of me next year. In 4 years, you're 72 books ahead of me. In 5 years, you're 100 books ahead of me. And gang, that's what success is. It's the slight disciplines consistently over time. And part of the challenge we subscribe to, I know at least in America, I can't speak about the United Kingdom. I've not been there yet, but I will be. But part of the challenge we have here in the United States is people subscribe to Quantum Leap. If you happen to be overweight, right? And of course, we could all afford to lose a few pounds, present company included. But if we happen to be overweight, we didn't get there overnight. But yet we want to subscribe to some diet plan. Lose all the weight in 30 days, guaranteed, or change your life in 90. Well, hey, it took me 10 years to get here. Don't expect to get, to where you want to go 90 days from now. And so I think that you're going back to the consistency, Sam, which is the question you asked. That is the holy grail. Learning to do those little things, be a DMO hero, where you got your checklist every day. Did I do this? Did I floss my teeth? Did I walk around the block? Did I eat an apple? Did I talk to my 2 a day? Did I read 10 pages? Did I get on the training call this week? Did I touch base with my upline? You could make a list of the things you should be doing and just attack that list every day. And if you do that consistently and you just keep doing it, and realize it's not going to change tomorrow, not going to change next month, but this time next year, this time 2 years from now, this time 3 years from now, suddenly people are going to say, man, you're so lucky. There's no luck to it. I consistently did the things other people were not willing to do. And gang, that's life. That's direct selling. That's network marketing. That's all it is. You're probably sorry you asked that question now.
No, not at all. I'm glad that you did. In fact, to be honest with you, I actually really want to put it on you right now. Do you fancy writing a DMO out for the team so they've actually got a DMO that you follow?
Yeah. So, every day I'm a big subscriber to the Daily Audio Bible. So, again, I'm not asking you to be a believer, but I am. And so, if you are a believer, whatever you believe, I'm going to ask you to practice it, study it, teach it. So, whatever you believe, study that. I'm a Christian. And so, we go to church every Sunday. It doesn't make me holier than thou. I'm chief sinner. That's why I got to go to church. I need work as much as anybody. But I have a daily audio Bible. I have a daily audio Bible that I listen to every single day. I listen to a certain podcast every day. I read 10 pages every day. And so obviously personal development is a big part of my life. My goal is to have at least 5 real conversations. I got some different prospecting things I do where I'm actually hitting up a minimum of 30 people a day with, hey, would you be interested in what we're doing? And from those 30 people, I'm usually going to get somewhere between 2 and 5 people that, in fact, want to engage in some kind of a conversation. You're going to watch the video, do this kind of thing. You got to follow up. Obviously, I water pick my teeth every day. I floss every day. That's hugely important. If you guys don't know, I have major dental issues. Always have. In fact, every tooth in my mouth, every single one is a crown. And in fact, I just had to go and have my crowns redone because there's a shelf life on crowns. And so I just had 19 crowns redone because there's a shelf life. You couldn't tell, but it's like, okay, well, we're probably getting to the point where they can start to leak or pull away from the gum a little bit. And so I have 19 crowns redone, which, by the way, is not cheap. So I'm a huge proponent of flossing your teeth every day. And I also have a water pick, but I just have to have really soft teeth. There's a daily method of operation that I follow every single day. I work out every day. I do try to fast a couple of days per week. So fasting, something I've been, intermittent fasting. So you can either do a pure fast where I don't eat anything, for 24, 48 hours or even longer. In fact, right now I'm actually on so I didn't eat anything on Wednesday, water only. I didn't eat anything on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So today's day 5. I'm actually on day 5 of a water fast. And so I do these water fasts from time to time, which I'm not asking you to do that, but if you read about fasting, there's actually some incredible health benefits that come from that. And so I try to do those from time to time. Intermittent fasting is something else that I do on a regular basis. And so, yes, Sam, there's a certain checklist that I have every day. Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? And it's not that I don't miss some days. There's not days that, my wife and I don't, for whatever reason, the night before we were having a barbecue, open a bottle of wine, and the next day, man, we are not doing anything healthy, right? Like we're kind of feeling it from the night before. Now we're like, oh man, I just want a greasy burger. We do that stuff too. We did subscribe to a plant-based diet, by the way. So I'm not a vegetarian. I eat meat, but I do try to eat more of a plant-based diet. And so our base diet's a lot of vegetable soups and salads and things of this nature, a lot of beans. But hey, if I were to come over there and you guys send me to a barbecue, it is on like Donkey Kong, and I'm throwing down some ribs. And so I'm not a vegan, but I do try to, again, on a daily basis, do the things we're supposed to do. So I continuously read and look for good ideas and try to implement those in my life.
Thank you.
Probably more than you wanted to know.
No, not at all. Because the thing about it is like, it makes sense to hear it from you than for us just to assume what you're doing. Because with the greatest respect, because you're at the top, most people won't think that you're actually pitching people daily. They'll think that you're just, in management mode, looking after teams. And with the fact that you're saying what you're saying, the fact that that you're still consistent, the fact even though you've been in the company for 7 years, it shows it doesn't matter whether or not if it's day one or if it's day 365, you've got to be consistent for it to keep working. So I think that's
in fact, I was going to say, I sponsored a guy last night, but that was luck, pure luck. It was a guy I talked to a long time ago, happened to go sign up. So I got the little notice last night, and I'm going to pull it up here real quick. But before that, I sponsored Virginia Forrester. I sponsored George Sweet, and I think I've got Michael Johnson coming on board. So in the last 4 days, I've had a minimum of 3 personal recruits. And I got a chance at Michael Johnson. And then, of course, I got some people I got to follow up today. But no, I prospect every single day. So just similar to the concept of you want to take 10% of your money and pay yourself first, you take 10% of your time and pay yourself first. Never, ever, 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 ever stop personally recruiting. It's like quitting college. For those of you who have kids and they went to school and my mom and dad are going to take a semester off. I mean, this is like, warning, because the chances of them going back, are just, going right down. They don't. And so you never want to quit recruiting because it's like working out. When you work out on a regular basis, and I'm sure everyone on here has probably done this, you've gone through periods where you don't work out, and it's so hard to go back and start working out again. It's like, I know I need to, but not today. Next week. But next week I'll really get going. Next week I'll pour it on, right? And then next week comes, you're like, it's so hard. And then finally, when you go down there, you're like, man, why did it take so long? Why did I let all these months or years go by and I didn't come down and start working out? Then once you start working out every day, and it's just what you do, and I'm sure everyone on here has probably had some point in your life where that was the case, then it's easy. You don't even think about it. You don't have to do the debate, do I, don't I? I think that's the hardest part. When you debate whether you're going to or not, that's like torture. But if it's just something you do, then you just remove them. It's not a question of if I'm going to do it. I just go do it. I just go, I got to get my workout done. You don't even think about it. And you removed all the torture just because part of your life is what you do. And the same is true with prospecting. And there's a million ways to prospect, gang. There's 2 billion people on Facebook. There's 500 million people on LinkedIn. There's hundreds of million people on Instagram. You can buy genealogy list of people that have been in MLM before. And I know in the States, I can buy 1,000 names. Name the company. What company you want? You want the Shopping Genie? You want Advocare that just went out of business? I can buy 1,000 names for $135. These are all people who at least signed up for something at one point. And I can then obviously start texting them, calling them. The key, it's not that that's the best method. It's that you have to create conversations every day, some way, somehow. Whether, maybe you're great at going to the mall and creating conversations with people that you bump into. Maybe you're great at, social media, going online and finding groups of common interest. And I'm going to tell you that part of your job, part of your daily method of operation is to find a way that you constantly come into contact with new people. Now, for example, if I were to interview, we're just going to grab a name on here. Let's say I were to interview Karen. So Karen, hey Karen, how are you? She's wondering if I'm talking about her. So Karen, if I were to interview Karen, what do you like to do? And you told me, oh man, I love crafts. I'm into crafts. So Karen, you should become part of the crafts group. You should be hanging out with a lot of other people who love crafts. If you told me you're a great bowler, Karen, you need to be in a bowling league, right? And you need to be bowling because what's going to happen at the bowling alley? You're going to meet a lot of other people who like bowling. You have a shared common of interest. You have a shared passion. You're going to be in circulation with people where you're constantly meeting new people, constantly coming into contact with people that like you like them because you have a common interest. You share something together. We both like bowling. We both like crafts. We both like whatever that might be. And you can go on Facebook and you can find groups of people that like to bowl, do crafts, or whatever your thing might be. And you should be looking for ways. It doesn't mean you're just going to hit them up today. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it because, you got to have a short-term strategy, long-term strategy. Maybe I'm calling the people I know, but I'm constantly trying to cultivate new relationships. And so maybe I'm bowling with these people for a while, just kind of waiting for them to say, well, what is it you do for a living? Maybe I'm just kind of waiting for my time. Maybe I'm going to kind of build a little rapport. And then, one day, hey, by the way, I got this new site. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to, like, day one, go to the bowling alley and hit everybody up. I mean, there's a little common sense here. But you want to constantly looking for ways to cultivate new relationships. That is the business you're in. And part of understanding what I'm saying here, gang, is understanding that it's worth it. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's worth it. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I don't know how long it's going to take you to become an ambassador. I can tell you that there are some pending announcements from the company that when you do become an ambassador, your income will not be $4,000 a month. Your income could be closer to $7,000 a month. And so you think about going ambassador, which is basically having 200 platinums on your left leg, 200 platinums on your right leg. That's doable. Doesn't mean you're going to get there this week, this month, maybe even this year. But it's only a team of 400. You can, in fact, get there if you even do some of the stuff about and stay persistent, consistent, and show up. Now, so think about our business. You're in a business where, number one, you guys all got a trip to Bali, Thailand, or Spain the day you join. You're in a business where you guys get 2 dreamcations every single year, 7 nights, 8 days, twice per year. I just described some of those kind of dreamcations. You got the net rates. You got the hotel site where people can save money, earn free travel. You're out there sharing the opportunity with people, helping them make some extra part-time money. Over time, you eventually become an ambassador. And again, this is something doable for every one of you. I believe it's a mental decision. If you mentally decide, man, I'm going to be an ambassador no matter what. If you resolve, I am not going to stop, I am not going to quit. This is my climate. You will soon see me at the top as an ambassador, or you will see me dead halfway up the side, but I'm not coming back. If you take that kind of, you will in fact become an ambassador at some point. I don't know your time frame because I don't know you. I don't know your mix of skills, contact list, right? I don't know where you're starting from. I only know that you can, in fact, get there, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after. Now, if you become an ambassador at that moment, you're going to have probably roughly $84,000 in income U.S. and you have to quit your job. We got ambassadors in our company right now. This is still a part-time gig. So here's your current income, and here's an extra $84,000 on top of that. As an ambassador, by the way, we're going to Cabo next month. Dave Hart's taking all the ambassadors. He's paying for everything. All the guys in France, they got free airline tickets. He bought all the ambassadors free airline tickets. He's bringing us all down to Cabo to a 5-star resort. There's a spa day. And so you can either go to the spa with Mr. Delahart or you can go deep sea fishing with Dave Hart. He's actually renting 3 different deep sea fishing boats. And we're going to take the boats out all day. We're going to go out and catch a bunch of mahi-mahi. When we're done catching the mahi-mahi, we're going to bring them in. We'll actually clean them right there at the dock, and we'll take them right into the restaurant and cook your fish any way you want at the restaurant, which Dave Hart's paying for. We're going to ride we're going to take the dune buggies across the sand. Obviously, we're hanging out in Cabo. We're going to be down there from the 8th to the 12th, 4 nights. And Dave Hart's paying for everything. Now, further, some of you may have saw the Facebook Live I did last Monday. I stopped at a cabin that we have in Big Bear. Now, again, I understand that's here in the United States, but if you've never been to California, in Southern California, Big Bear Mountain is the mountain. It's actually higher than Tahoe in elevation. It's about 7,000 feet. And so you can go up there in the summer. There's 2 different lakes up there. There's the hiking, the fishing, get the boat, the jet skis, and all that kind of stuff, right? In the winter, you can snow ski. We have a cabin up there. I did a Facebook Live. I take you to the cabin. You get access to that cabin. You can come to the United States, with your spouse, with your children, and you can go stay at that cabin. Well, further, Mr. Hart's now buying a place in Cabo. It's right on the beach. It has a private beach, by the way. And as an ambassador, which any one of you could, in fact, become, you'll be able to go to Cabo and stay in a home right on the beach like it's your own home. Anybody can do this, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after that. It's worth it. When you think about the lifestyle we create, the friendships we create, the travel we get to do, the personal development we get to go through, the skill sets we get to develop, the camaraderie. I can tell you right now, some of my best friends, my family, I have met. I obviously have my DNA family, my sister, my brother, but I got a lot of family that I've met in the direct selling industry. And some of them, the family I have in the direct selling industry, they're closer than even some of my own immediate family. And so this is an amazing industry. It's a fellowship. I happen to teach a course called The Biblical Secrets of Network Marketing. For those who've never seen that, if you think about when Jesus referred to the church, he wasn't referring to a building, right? Today we think of church as a building. In Jesus' time, when he referred to the church, it was the people, like the people that make up the church. It's a fellowship. And that's what network marketing is. It's all of us coming together, not in competition, but in cooperation, where we try to make each other better. We encourage each other. We celebrate each other. We lift each other up to help each other create a mastermind group, a mastermind alliance where we're not like the 70% out there reading trash, negative, stinking thinking, blaming Parliament, blaming the economy, blaming Trump, blaming the Democrats, they got their whole blame list, right? I mean, if it's to be, it's up to me. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skill. Hanging around people that have that mindset where you're getting better, taking control of your destiny and making amazing things happen for you and your family. And I'm telling you, the journey along the way, as you rank up, as you go 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, as you see people on your team rank up, as you see the company get bigger, as you see the company do even bigger trips and the conventions get bigger, and the company continues to buy more homes, by the way. Now, we're not done. We're not just buying 2 homes. We're going to keep buying these homes where the ambassadors can go. And we create this lifestyle that's the Indy. And so, I mean, it's a process. And I'm going to ask you to fall in love with the journey. Fall in love with the process. And do the DMO things, right? The daily method of operation every single day, and celebrate the small victories, right? I did my minimum of 2. I'm going to encourage you to go higher than 2, but minimum of 2. Celebrate the fact that you read your 10 pages, you ate your apple, you flossed your teeth, you listened to the daily audio Bible, that you set goals, clearly defined, written, that you're getting together with your team once a week. You're kind of forming a mastermind on your own team, and you plug into the weekly opportunity meeting and celebrate, all of those things every day along the way, and do it 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Because the challenge is that most people quit. That is the challenge to our industry. Most people overestimate where they can get in 1 year, and they underestimate where they can get in 5 years. And if you look at the GOAT of our industry, the greatest of all time, that's what GOAT stands for, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time, that's Dexter Yeager. And when Dexter Yeager, with Amway, his organization, and he passed away in January, by the way, he was 80-some-odd years old, his organization did $2 billion a year in sales. Oh, we got some background noise there. So his organization did $2 billion a year in sales. Understand that his sponsor quit. Now, why would his sponsor quit? You know why? Because Dexter joined that company in year 1. He did not make enough money to quit his job. Well, I mean, how good could this thing be? And you've been doing it for a year, and you can't even quit your job. Year 2, he did not make enough money to quit his job. Year 3, he did not make enough money to quit his job. It took him 5 years, before he was able to make enough money to quit his job. So along the way, his sponsor figured, hey, it can't be that great, and he quit. And of course, that organization went on to do $2 billion a year in sales. Gang, that is the perfect image of network marketing. I can only tell you that story is played out every single day, where people simply do not give it long enough. A lot of you guys know the story. If you take a penny and you double it every day for the next 31 days, you have $10 million in day 31. We all know that. If you didn't know that, you now know that. Here's the trick. At day 15, you're halfway to $10 million. You have 300 some odd bucks, like 360 bucks. You're halfway to 10 million and you feel like you're broke because you have 360 bucks. And so people quit. And that happens again and again and again. The Bible even warns us about this. Again, if you're a reader of the Bible, there's countless scriptures about people, giving up and quitting and all kinds of stuff like that. There's even a scripture that in the Old Testament where God says if you plant a fruit tree, it's probably going to take 5 years before you're getting a bountiful harvest. And what most people do is they plant a tree, grow. All right, that tree's crap. They go plant another tree, grow. That tree's crap. They go plant another tree, and they never stick around long enough to ever get the harvest. And that's just another one of those things about our industry. So it's just doing the daily method of operation and being here 2 years from now, being here 3 years from now, doing it. And if you're one of the people that do, I'm here to tell you that you're going to separate yourself from the crowd. In fact, I'm going to throw one more thing out there, and I'm going to zip it, let you guys ask some questions here. I'm on my diatribe today, but I'm going to get off my pulpit. But if you ever want to be somebody just truly extraordinary, I mean, you want to be somebody extraordinary. You want to separate yourself from the crowd, just don't quit. Seriously, just don't quit. Because almost everywhere else you can think of, they quit. They quit everything. I mean, I know here in the United States, January 1, everyone make New Year's resolutions. You go down to the gym on January the 2nd. The parking lot's packed. They're 5 deep on a machine, right? You can't even get in there. You go down there this morning, it's crickets. There's nobody there. Why? Everybody quit. All of those New Year's resolutions, January 2nd, just rip them up. They didn't mean crap. And they lasted, some people made it a week. Some people made it a month. Some people made it 2 months. And man, if you're one of the few, one of the 10% that you're like the turtle. You just keep freaking doing it and doing it and doing it. And other people even begin to question why, man. They even start trying to talk you out of it. Man, why do you go to that damn gym every day? I mean, you're just down there. You're just so consistent. And you just keep doing it, doing it, doing it. I'm telling you, you're going to be one of those people that people are like, man, you're so lucky. No, I just kept doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. And it's not about skill. It's about desire. If you guys know the book, Think and Grow Rich, okay, that is a homework assignment. You need to read that book, read it, and read it again until you can come and tell me all 13 principles, right? I'll Think and Grow Rich. And tell me the concepts behind it. And the number one principle of that book is you have to have a white hot burning desire. Number 2, you have to have faith. Those are the first 2 principles of the book. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with that book, it was written by Napoleon Hill. It took him 20 years to write the book. He went out and spent time, 20 years of time, with the 500 richest people on the planet, the 500 most successful people on the planet. And after 20 years, he said, here's the 13 things they all have in common. And you think they teach that in school, by the way. You think that in school, hey, by the way, throw that physics book away. Today, we're going to talk about, because most people can spend most of their life trying to figure out how to get ahead financially. And I mean, I can tell you, I took calculus. I don't remember anything of calculus. I took physics. I don't remember much about physics. I took AP chemistry. I don't remember much about AP chemistry. I wish they would have taught Think and Grow Rich. I wish they would have. That should be a class in school. It should be a requirement. I guess most people, regardless of what field you go into, they're going to be thinking, hey, how do I get ahead in this life? And so, again, read Think and Grow Rich, and you're going to find out the number one thing that's going to cause any one of you to stumble and fail are friends, family, and relatives. That's the number one thing that's going to take you down, Charlie Brown. Number one, that's important information to have. It's not that they're cruel. It's not that sometimes they're well-intentioned, but the number one thing that takes most people down are friends, family, and relatives. And sometimes it's just human nature. If they see you improving yourself and reading 10 pages a day and working out and eating apples and flossing your teeth and you're improving yourself, and they don't want to do that stuff. They want to stay on the couch and watch the housewives, trash, and eat Doritos and blame Parliament. I mean, obviously, they're kind of secretly betting against you. They're kind of hoping that maybe this thing's going to go away and you'll come back and join them on the couch. Because if you go out and succeed, you're going to invalidate all of their excuses. If you go out and succeed, you're going to make them feel about that big because they could have joined you in this endeavor. You invited them to join you. They said no. And if you go now and succeed, they're going to not feel so good, a lot of them, about that. They're going to feel bad about themselves. So they're secretly hoping that P2S goes away, that you quit, and you'll come back and join them. And again, that's important information to have. Because you got to realize every single person on your team, every single person you recruit is going to go through that process. Every one of them. Nobody's exempt. You have to know that the devil's after us all, and so are our friends and family, and they're going to try to, oh, hey, Mr. Millionaire, are you rich yet? And they're going to start, doing this kind of stuff. You've been in 1 week, and they're going to start doing this kind of stuff. And so that's important information to have. But you got to have a burning desire. You got to have faith. If you don't bring that foundation, there's nothing we can do. But if you bring that foundation of a burning desire, right, you're in faith, and you're willing to show consistently over time, you can become a success. Notice I did not ask about your skill level. I did not ask about where you're starting from. I did not ask anything else. I only asked, do you have a burning desire to be something more than you currently are? Do you have a burning desire to get ahead? Because if you bring that to the table with faith and you're willing to show up consistently with a good attitude, I'm telling you, you can do amazing things in our industry. So it's not always the how, it's how you do the how. to go full circle. Because the how I gave you in the first 30 seconds. I gave you a little tiny script that any one of you guys could be sending out 5, 10 times a day, which you should be. Hello, Sam. We just launched a new concept in travel. It's free, saves you money every time you book hotel rooms, and gives you free hotel stays. It's called Incentivized Sharing. It's absolutely free. Check out this 1-minute video and let's have a conversation. I mean, you could be sending that out. I just told you the how, but a lot of the things go into it, right? And sometimes it's not just the how, it's how we do the how, it's our mindset, are we positive, are we showing up, are we consistent? It's a lot of those other things. Back to you, Sam.
Stop yawning. As you go back to you, and I'm just like, quickly.
Like that?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I definitely want you to do the DMO bit, because I think that's a really good way to move forward, because then what we can do is then we can see how active people are, because obviously within the back office it will actually show how many times that you've sent your link out for people to have a look to join the business. It's something that Nicola picked up when we very first started our group. So I think it would make sense if we get on, we'll get Todd to get the DMO out, and then this time next week we'll see who has got the highest score on how many people have actually looked at their link in respecting of joining the business, or how many times it's been used this week, because there's a tracker on it. And what I'm going to do, Todd, is I'm going to have a little chat with you privately before I say anything more, and then take it further from there on in.
Well, aren't we doing a presentation on Thursday?
We can, yeah, we are doing a presentation on Thursday, but the beautiful thing about it is that obviously if we do another Zoom like this on Sunday, but keep it to half an hour rather than an hour, and yeah, and then we can pick up and we can see who's actually done the most work out of this team off this Zoom call for the week, because it's going to show on the tracker. Because the more people that you're obviously talking to about the hotel site link, then the more people you're going to be talking to about obviously showing the dream vacation, and then the more people that you'll be able to say, look, I've got a free offering here for 10 days, you can take a spot. We'll be able to see who's actually getting the links out, because it shows it in the tracker on the back of the office.
Okay. Well, just come back and let me know if you want to do the presentation on Thursday. I mean,
no, definitely. We
it's
want
not
to
always about, sometimes we want to have we call this our master. So we'll call this our mastermind group every week that we're doing right now. So this is our mastermind group. And then we should have an opportunity meeting at least once a week. So every Sunday, every Thursday. Now we'll kind of come back. Are we doing the DMO? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? And so this Thursday, I don't care how many people are here, let's just get it started. 8 o'clock your guys' time, 7 o'clock your time, let me know. You can send me a message and confirm that. It could be Tuesday also. It doesn't matter, Tuesday or Thursday. Just let me know when you're not here.
Let's build it up for Thursday, give everybody a bit of chance, because there's going to be a few people that are at work right now that still need to watch the recording. So if we give them till Thursday, it means that we don't leave anybody behind, and I don't want to leave anyone behind at all. So if we do it 8 p.m. Thursday, organise it, so therefore any prospects that we've got, anyone that's got a 10-day free trial, let's get them on the opportunity call in front of Todd. Let's get Todd to do his magic and start moving this team forward. Has anybody got any questions?
By the way,
unmute yourself if
while people are formulating their questions, I knew I was windy.
Hi, Todd.
Hey.
I'm fine, thank you. I've got one question. How do you answer somebody who says it sounds too good to be true?
Everything sounded too good to be true till it was. Now for free, the very fact that I can see you and you can see me, you're in the United Kingdom, I'm in the United States, and the fact that we can see each other and talk to each other, this is Star Trek kind of stuff, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys watch Star Trek, but I mean, back when I was a kid in the 70s and Star Trek was on, and they would say computer, and the computer was, okay, there you go. And you could see me on the screen, I could see you on the screen. Bye, that's not real. That'll never come to fruition. So there are honest skeptics and are dishonest skeptics. I don't blame anyone for being a skeptic. Say, hey, look, I get you're skeptical, but if I can prove it to you, would you in fact want to know more? If I can prove it to you, would you in fact want this or this or this? And then, of course, it's all based on what they're skeptical about. If they're skeptical about dreamcations, for $573 a night, or going to these places for $39, I mean, there are videos you can send to those people where here's Danny Segonal, here's David Hart, here's Pastor Mel Keys, here's, on and on and on. I know Samantha's going on one. You're going to be able to show, by the way, ideally all of you will go on one. If they're skeptical about the free trip, ideally some of you, if you go on a free trip to Bali, Thailand, or Spain, you video, hey, you can do all you want, but here's the video, baby, watch it and reap, right? If they're skeptical about the pricing, we can do price comparisons. If they're skeptical about the pay, I mean, we can overcome any skepticism there is if they're honest. If they truly, okay, this all sounds great, I'm skeptical, but that's what freeway calls are for. That's what social proof is for. But you'll get dishonest skeptics where they just want to pretend to be skeptical. They just don't want to know, it's just too good to be true, and they don't want to hear. And then they're not really skeptical. They're just, claiming that it's too good to be true because they don't want to hear anymore, because they don't want to do it, and that's okay too. So there are people that are honest skeptics. I'm willing to believe if you can prove it, and we can, social proof. Or there's dishonest skeptics. There's nothing we can say to help them. They just don't want to hear it, and that's okay too.
Thank you.
Todd, I just wanted to ask you a question. It's Hayley. It's just a deletion process, isn't it?
What's that?
A deletion process. So the people who aren't interested, you just delete them, remove them, and move on, basically, don't you?
Completely. And that's, and for the people that are on here, I'd say that probably the number one lie in network marketing is the fact is how many people you have to go through to have success. That's the lie. It's not that you can't make big money. There's tons of big money happening in the network marketing industry. But the thing that most people don't get is how many people you have to go through, find the people who are willing to do whatever it takes for however long it takes to find that success. That's what most people don't get or don't comprehend. And again, that's human nature. It's no different than clearly defined written goals. And then we already established earlier, most people don't have clearly defined written goals. Most people won't go out and do 2 a day, every day, consistently, persistently. They won't eat the apple. They won't floss their teeth. They won't read the 10 pages. And so there's nothing we can change about human nature. This is indicative of everything. I could say that in the United States, if you become a realtor, someone who sells real estate, only 10% of the realtors sold a home in the United States last year. Oh, I think my headsets are going dead. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much about persistency.
I'm getting the beep. What's that?
Todd, it's pretty much about persistency then. It's just like going on and on and on, and whatever backlash you get from it, you just have to brush it off and move on.
So, we always describe network marketing as you get 5, I get 5, I get 5. And there's a geometric effect, which is true. There's a geometric effect, but it's never you get 5, I get 5, I get 5. Instead, you might have to get 105 to find 5 who are willing to go do whatever it takes for however long it takes. And it does, in fact, geometrically duplicate. It just doesn't happen pretty. And so, again, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes for however long it takes until, in fact, you find those people who are as hungry as you. And I can tell that everyone on this webinar, if you can, in the next 12 months, go out and find 3 people who want it just as bad as you do or more this year. And then next year, go find 3 more. And then the year after that, a third year, find 3 people who want it as bad as you or more. You'll never want for anything. But you have to go through a lot of people to find those people that will keep on keeping on. And since it is Sunday, and for those of you that are believers, even Jesus talked about this. He said, many are called, few are chosen. Wide is the road that leads to destruction. Narrow is the path that leads to salvation, and only a few will find it. We're not 10 cleansed, and only 1 out of 10 came back to give thanks to God. And finally, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. The problem is not with the harvest. That is not the problem. The problem is with us. Are we willing to do our part?
I am. Can't hear you anymore.
Am I out now?
Yeah, you're in now. You're in now. Have we got any more? I'm just.
Okay, we're going to have to go. We'll have to go this way for now. I was looking for my headset that plugs in, but it's in my bag.
But at least you're showing that nothing stops you, Todd.
At least what?
At least you're showing that nothing stops you. There is that.
I got to plug it back in and charge.
Has anybody got any other questions? I'm just mindful we've been on here over an hour. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to make the joke. I knew I was windy, but I didn't realize I was that windy. I can't believe it's been over an hour.
So,
Apologize.
So you'll get used to us, and we'll get used to you. It'll be all right. Okay, all right. I'm going to wrap this up so you guys can do what needs to be done, and then what I'll do is I'll message you in a bit, Todd, because I've got something I want to ask.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you guys for coming on. I hope it's helped you, and I'll see you in the chat. So, see you later.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.